Yes. Share screen. Okay. So here we have a few questions. Need ramps from bus and car drop off. Yes, you do need a sidewalk curb ramp for these locations. Should I add a fire retention cell above to catch the driveway's runoff before it enters the swale? Do you mean this area? Yeah. Right, you could add one. I think at least, okay, so at one point it started to turn. At this point it started to turn. This is where it sort of perpendicular, the contour goes perpendicular. Yes, so please add one by, you could move these contours over this, in this area to this area and move the HPS up. So then you can add one more small retention in that area. Okay. Does this fire retention work for the plaza? Now we have that going through. It's a little small. Otherwise, it looks like it's working. But let me zoom in later on after looking at these. ADA ramp near the bus drop-off. Here, right? That's the ramp. It's probably going to be in this area. And the 1107 contour crossing, the sidewalk conflicts, the ramp slope. How do I fix that? Here, that, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. When this contour goes along this curb, when it comes to the ramp, you will need to make some changes for a small portion of the contours that go up the ramp, but we can zoom in as well later. So delay the edges of the 2% pad at the start. Yes, please. And do I need to label that slope? Yes. The ramp is bounded on the backside by the curb to the bus drop-off. Does that constrain the ramp design in any way? On the backside by the curb to the bus drop-off. Can you point to where you meant by the ramp?
If you move back up toward that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, okay.
so,
I see what you're saying.
Ramp is
Yes.
Here,
yes.
and then on the back side of that ramp.
Yes. Right.
So this is actually make a way accessible to the bus drop-off. Two, is that even possible? And does having the curb there, does having the curb there affect the ramp and space?
That ramp can be shared by both areas, and we can show how to make that happen. Yeah. All right, so let's look at the right retention first, and then we'll look at this area. So some things that I noticed, I'll just point it out. The wall here needs to be thick. And we have a maximum 6.4. So that's for that reason, you would need rest area every 30 feet of ramp. 5%. Keep below 5%, then no need. Okay. So 1105 goes, yeah, this way. And right, the issue here, the major issue here is we need to separate these two. I don't know if I misspoke at some point about connecting them, but it's better if we have something over here. Oh, that's a bad color. That go connect this way. And then we have our swell goes like this, and this goes into another cell. Reason again being relatively clean, dirty, very dirty. So even if in kind of in the appearance, it looks like this is a big cell, you would have a berm of some sort in between. So then these two, the water can be separated. So let's see how we can make that happen. Want to zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, your 1105 contour goes like that. And you have your RDI equal to 1104.40. So that's why you would have a 1104, then another 1105. Then you have 1104 below. So it could be, this works. Maybe, yeah, maybe this is a pretty good way for it to work for then adding another cell in this area using the 1105 berm that you have already over there. This connect directly to that one. So the curb cut here is 1104.41, meaning this one is actually lower than that one. Well, not necessarily. LP can be the same though. The LP here can be the same as that one. So they're roughly at the same elevation. Well, 1103.4 could be, yeah, the same thing. And then we do know that we have 1104 contours in between. The harder thing to do, 1104 is over here, that's 1104. So you would have some high points over here. That is over 1104. Let's see. This is 4, this is 3. No. Okay, so that needs to wrap around actually. This would be moved down to a different color. That would be, why do I pick white? That would be moved down. And then the 4 would wrap around. And you have another 4. This is another 4. Oh, maybe this section. Okay, this is another 4. That's 4. And you have some 5 in between. Honestly, the 5, okay, 4, 4. So here in between, it only needs to be 1104.5. So your 5 goes like this, come back here, there, comes out over here, there, 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 there. That is 5. Let's see. I just want to make sure. 4 here. 5 over here. That's another 4. This goes into, then this is, if this is 4.5, it goes down. Those go away in this area, that's okay. And then that is going down, this is going down. Those are 4. Yeah, well, that's probably not a huge issue. Yeah, this area. But I do think that, you know, with HP equals to 4.5 over here, you should be able to prevent the water from spilling out. Okay. So that's that area. We'll go back to the ramp then. Okay. Okay, so the ramp here, we do have a DI. We need to find a place for it to go. That, yes, this one goes here. The ramp here would just be, this thing is, that's a pad that's shared by both area. You can go, no, you can walk down here. This surface is graded as the parking lot, right? So basically there is a smooth transition from there to here. And then there's 2 little walls here, 2 little walls here and there, and that's your ramp. The slope you're right, you indicated here, those are correct, but that surface is connected, so you can go from either side to up there. But no, honestly, I don't think we need this portion, because you don't necessarily, well, somebody might go up, go on the curb here and then go along the path here and go to the plaza. Even if we close it, it is okay, because we would imagine most people would probably walk. Well, let's still keep it. No, I think getting rid of that might not be that necessary. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, that's weird. What happened? Automatically. Okay, no. Go again, sorry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, it will be graded exactly at the same, imagining no curb and no sidewalk. That's the same surface as the bigger parking lot. And then when specifying the slope, you would look at these spot elevations based on parking lot, and then the top of the curb based on the sidewalk, the top of the curb based on the sidewalk, and then you determine the exact slope on top of the ramp, on the ramp. Okay, so this is actually not, it's a quite a common type of grading of a curb ramp there. Okay, so that's that one. The right. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm not exactly sure where 107 should be here, but this is below 107.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what to do with that.
All right. So that should be 107 on the top of the curb. Actually, you would have a separate one because you have, no, it wouldn't, it would have a wall. The ramp has a wall over here, a short wall over here too, right? So the, you would have this spot elevation. That spot elevation at the bottom equals to BC, right? And then you design your ramp for it to be 8%. And not 8%, 5%. If it's shorter, then it can be. Yeah, it is pretty short. So it can be 8%, depending on the slope that you want to design it for. And then you calculate with a side slope where, based on this ramp, where your 1107 contour would be. It could be somewhere here, which just mean, I don't know exactly where it is, which just mean that you need to extend your wall over so it doesn't, so you use that wall as to transition that 107 on either side. Yes, 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 that's correct. Yeah, yeah. So wherever this 107 would be determined by the ramp design. Okay. All right. Anything else that I forgot? I know we're supposed to look at the ramp today. I'll just quickly look through this area. We have a DI, good. Our top FFE is 1106.00. It's only 00 if, okay, so you want this to enter here, okay. Then the bottom is 1096, that's 1095. This is, okay. Now we drag it up and 1096, that is going down. Yeah, I'm just trying to see how you connect over here. This is going down and this is 106. I think we are getting down and then go up again. So that might not be. If we can design for the 1096 to go. Oh, okay, my bad. This is 96.6, that's the T-wall. Not necessarily. I think you're correct here. Oh, yeah. 1096. 9796, the wall becomes here and then it goes down. Should, yeah, works. We just need to extend the wall. All right. I think that's all the questions you had. Huh. Freeze again. Thank you. Okay. Just quickly checking. This must have been one of the worst computers that I've gotten from AIT. Not even old, but it just doesn't listen. All right. I may just close it out and see. Okay, give me one second. Yeah, better. I think we worked on this one.
No.
ADA ramp, this one, right? Okay. Oh, this one is okay. You just need have one ended because you don't have any sidewalk over here. People will get off and then get on. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah. Okay, let me know if I missed anything, but I think we covered it all. Okay. Keith. All right. Keith is online. Good. We're reviewing.
Can you hear me, Wuhang?
Yes, I can hear okay. Is the volume actually not working here? Well, no worries. We can hear you. We're close together enough. Did I forget to share just now? Sketchy this morning. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, let's go through the questions. Would the swell be necessary? Nope, not necessary because we're on landscaped area and it's better to have relatively uniform flow downstream. No swell necessary in that area.
Okay.
Do I need a divergent swell around this area? No, because everything is flowing down. You're not actually creating. You're not creating, or you're not directing that water into, or mix dirty and clean water. So you do not need divergent swell there. Well,
okay.
It's the second part. Water seems to be flowing away the bioretention area. You don't want water in the retention area to flow away. But if it's only the bank, half of the bank of the bioretention flowing away, that's okay. So
okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay because you only have just this part of the portion is flowing away, and that is supposed to happen.
Okay.
All right, we go to number 6. How would the plaza swell look like? This is basically a plaza swell, right? And you would end your center line over here. It's not an LPS anymore. Basically, you indicate that as an LP or just a spot elevation would be fine. And then this one, the same thing. Yes, ending it here, include a spot elevation.
So both are not LPS anymore.
Nope, they're LP,
Okay.
or you could even remove the LP and say spot. Yep.
Okay.
The divergent swell here looks okay. But once you add the retention, we can check again, but it seems like it's dragged up enough. Yeah, dragged up enough so that this water definitely would not go into your retention. You can tighten the contours together a bit more, meaning that, for instance, this one can go closer. You can measure them, so your swell center line could move. I honestly think you can move a little bit away from the retention because you still have some room over here. So no, for instance, for the 1101 contour, it can actually go like this.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then you would have some more room to create your retention just by kind of minimizing this distance to 4 feet.
Okay. But I actually don't have bioretentions bioretention areas anymore on that side, because I kind of um directed them at the bottom,
Yeah, that's a lot of water. That's a lot of
mhm,
water going to one direction, going into one inlet here.
mhm,
Because you only have this one sort of resort for, if this clogs, you would have a lot of water
mhm,
depending in this area, even flowing down here. So
mhm.
I would suggest to add a couple more like
Oh,
this.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better,
Mhm.
yeah, a better drainage solution. Okay.
So, would you say I'll add bioretention areas in all of the spaces here, and beside the 108 contour, beside the 109 contour.
Yeah. Once you
Okay.
get one right, you basically duplicate it
Mm-hmm.
and lower it by 1 feet, right? Everything would
Mm-hmm.
just be um, having an elevation difference of 1 foot, but then the design is actually the same.
With the bioretention areas here, being here, do I need to locate trench drains, or would
No,
showing them? Okay.
no, if you have retention, then you don't need trench drains. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
this trench drain here is not receiving much water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that one should be removed, definitely. Okay. This is okay. Should there be a drain inlet on the stair landing? Um, depending on how you design for the stair to, no, the slope of the stair. If the slope of the stairs allow the water to keep flowing off the stairs, then yes. Instead, if you design for it to do this, then you would need an inlet. Adding an inlet would basically add some more cost of piping, right? So it's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, yeah, you can ask the water to flow down and keep flowing down by actually making this point a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily need to include a DI in that location.
Okay.
Yeah. And the
Mm-hmm.
other thing is to not make the steps flush with the end of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you need 1 foot to be placed, in this area while you prepare yourself to get off.
Mm-hmm.
If the stairs is flush with the end of the wall, then people is likely to trip.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we did talk about not necessary for the wall to wrap around the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little easier, you can see that, yes, it's easier to attach all the contours when you have a wall, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, all the water will flow along the wall and then come to your plaza, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that this design would require you to have, for instance, a trench drain
Mm-hmm.
or no, a trench drain would be a better solution than just one DI.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't have a wall, the water will basically just flow off, to the landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I think that's a cheaper design.
Mm-hmm.
So this portion I would not recommend. If you want to keep this portion, I think it's okay. Because
Mm-hmm.
yes, it does look like it's making connection of the contours a lot easier, but
Mm-hmm.
I would not use the other part of the wall.
So I could retain the upper parts
Yes.
and then remove the
Mhm.
okay. Now
Yeah.
I think the reason why I did that is because I was having a difficult time connecting the contours. Um
So you
um
mean the 1103, 2, and 1 are those contours? Let's take a look
yes.
by moving this up. So we have a 4 over here. and the bottom is 07.5. You would have steps. Oh, okay. So 2, 6, that's good. 7. Ah, I think it's mainly, this elevation here is very high at 105. Then you don't have any space in between to go down to 1096. That's probably the primary reason why you could not connect back. Let's take a look at this area. So you had 107 goes like this. This is 7 and that's 6. Why do I feel? Yes, 7 goes there. 7 goes out here. And 6 goes, if we are turning, I think there might be some mistake on the contour over here.
I think I wrapped the contour around the drop off, like below the curb, at the bottom of the curb. And then, yes, that's
your 6.
Mhm.
And then we're turning it. And then, if 6 is over there, then 6 would be like this.
Mhm.
And then 6 and 5 looks like they're 5%. And
Mhm.
it might not be necessary to have it at 5%. Okay. So the other thing is, let's see. If you had, I want to make it thinner, so this is 7. Did we nope, that's okay. The spacing is a little off, basically because that needs to be like that. That's why it's a little off.
Mhm.
So it will be like this. And then you would have this contour. In fact, you would have that. That's your closed 6.
Mhm.
This is 7, that's
This-
your closed 6.
So it will wrap around at the bottom.
Yeah. And if you have if this is where you start to get up, if this is where you want people to get up, then I think you can end your pavement of the plaza there and start your ramp over here. Then you wouldn't take so much distance to get to 105. I think the reason is that we're only getting very small elevation difference with this length.
Mhm.
That's probably the reason why we're having difficulty connecting back.
Mhm.
So if that's the case, we have 7 here. And 6 is actually over here. Then you won't have, you won't have a 7 on the plaza anymore. You would have another 6. You would have a 6 on your contour, and let's do a 50 feet distance. Your 6 is probably over here. That's your 6, and your 6 can go like this. And from this point on, you can start your 5% slope, meaning your 5 would be over here.
Oh.
Then try it again. You would have a better chance of connecting back without using the wall. Yeah.
Okay.
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 So this could be how you connect the 6. I don't know. There might not be. Okay. This looks like it's a close contour. So your 6 still going to be a close contour over here. And then another 6 will 7, 6 will go around, and 5 would go like this. Well, no, 5 would connect up, actually. 5 connect here. So yeah, it's bumping into each other quite a bit over here. We'll need to see if you have enough space. If not, then things needs to be moved down a little. So check if you have enough space in this area to have 6 and then to have a 5. If not, we will need to move 6 down, and well, 6 still needs to be here. We can move 5 down. So then this area would not get too steep.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I need to connect the 105 contours and the others 104 inside like the middle of my ramp, that area?
Inside the middle of the ramp, I'm having a little difficulty.
I'm not sure.
If you can annotate.
How do I annotate? I have no idea. Oh, okay. Like this contour, do I have to connect it to there? And let's say, for example, 104 is here.
Yes, that's how you connect them.
Okay, and what would happen to the contours here? Would they also be connected to the contours here? Because they would end here, right?
Yes. I see the dilemma here. You're likely going to run out of space. If this is all maximum slope, I'm sorry, let me try to erase. If this is all maximum slope, starting from 05, you're only able to get to 100. 1100. So that means part of the, yes, you probably need some walls. You probably need some walls so you can start lower. This will be lower. That makes sense. Yeah, let's try. If we're getting to 1097 somewhere here, looks like, yeah, 107. We'll change different color. If we're getting to 107 here, 108 there, 1099, that could be 1099. That area, it's a little concerning, definitely. Very small area available. So 1099 goes here, goes out, and then 1100. So you are actually going to be at 1104 over here, meaning that there is a portion of the wall here to allows you to start at 1104 instead of a 1105. So your 06 here, 05 here, then your 04 goes like this and goes up and goes like that. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so your wall stops in between 5 and 4 to allow the 4 to connect back. Then 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, you should have enough room. But double check to see if that's the case. The reason why you're having difficulties mainly because, original contour is this direction, right? But you're trying to create a slope. You're trying to create a slope that goes like this. The original slope is like that. So that's why it's hard to connect back. Yeah. If you
Okay.
would like to,
Mhm.
yeah, if you would like to, you could choose to use the walls more extensively along this edge.
Mhm.
But I mean, probably not. I think having this wall
Mhm.
over there,
Mhm.
and likely having a wall over here would allow you to connect back to your original contours.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the reason why the difficulty happens is that this is very close to your ramp,
Mhm.
and the ramp direction is perpendicular to your contours,
Mhm.
and we had very limited space in this area,
Mhm.
right? So those are why your ramp is a little more complicated.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. One more question.
Sure.
So I have previously a bioretention area at the bottom, like here. Oh, here. Does that mean it would be gone? Because
Yeah, you don't need that one. Your
okay.
retention is along this way, right? This way.
Yes.
Yeah. So you would need something here,
Mm-hmm.
but not here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't have space, and you wouldn't want to squeeze it in between the turnaround and the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
This is where your swell ends, and that should be where you have it. And this can
Okay.
go this way around, kind of away from it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I got
and
it.
yeah, you need one more. Oh, you have that. You have that one. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. Let me
Okay.
quickly go through the possible to do. Well, okay. I think we covered every question.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mhm. Very helpful.
Okay, let's keep going. And I believe Rebecca is my next. Is it possible to check my stairs? Sure. Possible to check some of the retention near the swell. I added more. Okay. And how many retention do we need the final? It depends on where you have dirty water to be treated. We can quickly look through that one first. All right. Let's check this portion. As I mentioned to Jonathan and Keith, you have a lot of space here, so I'm not gonna worry about that part. This is more about, do we have does the diversion works? Yeah, the diversion work. It looks quite deep though. Okay. No. So we have a 1109.15, then yeah, LP is too low. You don't want the depth of the retention to exceed 1 feet, okay? So if we use the curb cut as our sort of the overflow mechanism, you would have an LP equals to 1108.15. Because once the water gets to the level of 1109.15, it keeps flowing down. LP equals to 1109.15. You only need a 1109 contour. So the 1109 is the only one that you need over here. And we're trying to prevent the water yes, the swell goes down and it wouldn't go up that way. So you are pulling the way you pull the contours up is correct. Pulled up until this, but you only need 1109 there. Okay, so all those Those are correct. It's just too many contours. And I think you would need something that treats the water over here. That's one thing you need to add. Okay. Okay, the second thing I'm going to check is whether you have enough bioretention to treat all the water. So let me zoom out. So, come on, annotate. Use that one. Add one more here, because then you can deal with everything comes off your driveway. Okay, and add one more here, because there is a lowest point here that needs to be treated, and you don't want to mix that with the plaza water. This one is okay. And those needs to be added. Okay. Because you have a good W design or V design that allows you to drain water into the middle. So the middle would have some capability to treat all the water, and your center line is this direction going down. No, that's the ridge. So if there's no entry over here, I would suggest adding an entry right there. If some water is not able to be treated, it actually keep going down to this point. So if all this is plaza, then everything flows down to this area. You can have one inside here, but it's pretty small. So this is actually where you need space. This is where you need space to treat. You can pipe it out and say, make some connections so that it goes to the side, but it's not necessarily, if we don't have space over here, you can do this, but it's not that easy. So the best way is actually still trying to make some room over here. Over here. I think the main issue, the main issue is actually the center line sort of conflict with, I might want to do some changes to the contours in this area, because that might be a better solution for it to not go through a swell here, but instead I'll just let it go. Let's see. Let it go through here. I know that's small, but still you have the most space over here. And let's clear this one. So that's where you would have your retention. And you can even cut out some of the pavement in the middle. Oopsies. Cut out some of the pavement in the middle so that you don't have as many water going down your roundabout. And then accordingly, some of the contours needs to be turning like this. Then you wouldn't necessarily need to squeeze a lot of things in between, and this water is not treated. That's the major problem. The plaza water is not treated. Change this to a different color so that becomes a green. Doesn't really let me. Anyways. So that's okay. This is okay. And that portion is pretty Yeah, this is not a ideal solution either, but I think it's better than what you had. Okay. Any questions about this part?
I do have one. What would the contours look like for that swale with the change?
The contour for that swale. Okay. So let me zoom in. Let me zoom in because I need some space to lay it out. Yep. So originally we had 107 doing this. And now we're changing this to go this way. We're turning a little bit. Now, this 1107 would go kind of, you would have a mirrored 1107 here. Which is likely, yes, is likely a closed contour. And then 1108 goes like this, goes like that. Oh. You do, yes, you do need a little bit more space at the end of this wall. So one more, I would say we are now at a lower, 1 foot lower than you had before. Now 007, this is 07. That's weird. That's actually, this is 08. Okay, 08 and 07 goes around. And then 5% slope, that's 07. And we keep going down to 06 because we need something here. So I can modify this. Ah, come on. I can modify that to be attached to this. That's my 7, and I have some retention over here. Then I go to this, my 6. Over here, I don't need another, yes, I don't need another 6. So going this way, that's my 6. And then like that. 5, we'll keep going, that much, and then doing that. So you can keep going. At some point, it might be easier to use a wall. Not that one. Yeah, this is probably too flat. If we take advantage of this, okay, 8765, that's 5. 4. That's 3, right? 2. Well, 2 may not need that much space. You could start doing this a bit more. And 1. Again, you'd need to measure yourself. And then 0. So here comes, okay. So that one would be going actually attached to that wall. Let's do a wall over here. That's a lot easier. And then 0, 9. You see how this is a lot easier? Use that wall instead of touching everything over here, because now we're creating some sort of swell going down to your plaza, right? Here, you still keep most of the water. You keep most of the water drain this way and then off. So adding a wall here would be beneficial. That's not what I want, but you get the idea. So keep going. We have 9 here and 8 there, and I think we can end at 8. Something like this. All right. So the next contour is 7. Yeah, I think we'll be able to return to 7 like that. That help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Let me clear and get back to the list of your questions and see if I have missed anything. So we took a look at this. Okay, stairs. So same thing, let's move the stairs off the end of the building corner, starting with at least 1 foot. To remove the last line. Come on. Remove the last line over here. Now the edge of the pavement, okay, the edge of the pavement should be lighter than the contour. So this is your edge of pavement, right? That needs to be lighter so that we can read this one clearly. Well, I think your 07 is not, oh, did I make a mistake? This is actually 07. I think that's probably what I did. So 08 is over here. If that's the case, 07 would be somewhere like this, or even that's probably the right 07. Oh, that's 07. This corner will be close to 1107.2 because you basically measure that based on the distance from here to there, right? So that is 1107.2. That is probably 1107.1. Starting there, those are your top of stairs elevations. And the B stair elevation would be based on what you design for the bottom is 1097.50. And that's right. And you had a higher one, the BS equals to 97.80. You have three flights. You can use the TS here minus that one and divided by 3 to know the differences in elevation. So it would be 9.7. So every one of the flight of the stairs would be 3.23 something. Okay, then you would need about 6 stairs. You have 7 risers and 8 treads. I don't know if it's my calculations that was wrong. That would get you to 4.2, nope, 3.5. 3.5 adding up. You're probably correct. So TSBS, I'm not exactly sure about these elevations, how you calculated them. If we do a very quick checking. So you have 1100.65 minus 1097.8 equals 2.75. Hopefully I did it correctly. So if you have 6 risers, that's 3.5. So there's something that's not matching. Does that make sense? If you have 7 risers and 6 at 0.5, you had 3.5 elevation difference, but here you actually only had a 2.75 difference in elevation. We just need to make sure that they match. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so some things you might not necessarily get 3 identical flights. You can adjust by removing one or adding one step for one of the flight. The key thing is to base the calculation of here using what you designed for the back plaza. I would say the BS here looks like it's a little high than what's actually the elevation there. And using the TS here based on the calculation of the plaza. So then that one would be close to 1107.20 or 15, something like that. And use these two to guide how I divide the flights. And as long as the TS and BS, their elevation differences match the riser height multiplied by the number of risers, then you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about the edge of pavement here. If your edge of pavement is over here, if that's your edge of pavement, that's probably it, right? I think that's
Yeah.
your edge of pavement. Okay. The key thing over here that I noticed is that the edge of the pavement, you don't want to design it for it to become a wall. So very likely you have closed contour here instead of having all the contours hit the edge of the pavement, because that way you're actually designing a vertical sort of a retaining wall of some sort at the edge. And that is not necessary in this area because we are not limited by space. We have a lot of space. We can make it, we don't have to make the plaza edge be, we don't need to make the plaza edge be like this and then have the water retention do that. It's better we leverage that space we have to design a flat or gentle sloped retention in this area, right? Otherwise you need to build this one, the wall, and that will increase the cost. Okay. And I don't think that's beneficial for the aesthetics of the retention either. Okay, so that's that. Let's see if we missed anything. That's the stairs, right? The last one is the stairs. So maybe we're fine. All right, anything else?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Okay. Moving forward. Layla, we talked about this this morning. Maybe we can check one of the retention?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't need
Or this area. I think the ramp needs some attention. And then we can talk about one of the retention. Which one do you want to talk about for the retention?
probably I left the one in the middle of my parking lot, drop my car roundabout. I didn't really
Sure.
know what to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look at this one. Zoom in. So water, the first thing that I noticed that is you wouldn't put a curb cut over here because water is flowing away. So you need to put it in the face, kind of at the base of the edge where it receives water, right? So you could put it somewhere here to capture this much area backwards. That's how much area you would be able to capture if your curb cuts in those locations. Does that make sense? So the first thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, first thing is change the curb cut locations. This is okay, but moving it down just a tad would help you capture a little bit more water. So the next thing is that no curb cut height here and there would be a little different, right? This is going to be lower and that's going to be higher. Because this is small, it wouldn't be necessary to create two separate ones. This is pretty small area. So let's use that one as the lower one, which determines the water level in this area. So now you have your LP equals to 109.10, which is a foot lower than that one, which is good. Okay, so your LP would be 1109.10. And we do need so yeah, double line for this area. If we have a 1109.10, we would have a 1110 contour, which you probably have. You wouldn't have two contours inside. It would be one contour that is at the 1110 level. Okay, so you have 110 contour, and then now if we again draw the cross section in this direction, that's high, this is low. We just need to check the lowest curb and see the height of that one. The lowest curb looks like the bottom of the curve is 1109.9. What I mean is the bottom of curve at this location. That's the lowest. That's the lowest point of your retention area. I mean this area, because we want to know if anything will flow out of the curve, right? So BC equals to 109.9 on the plaza means that TC equals 1110.4. So our water level here is 1109.1, meaning that it's lower down here. Okay, so that's your LP equals 1109.10. That's below here, meaning that this is probably going to be a wall that is, if we want to maximize the storage capacity of this area, we would want to make this portion a wall of some sort. So you have an LP equals to 1109.10. Now, there is a contour of 1110, which is at this, that's the 1110 contour where it is. Yeah, the bottom of there, it's all higher than, okay, so yeah, that's okay. And then we just need to determine where the 1110 hits. Okay, so for that reason, TC and water level is at this level. So my water level is at 1110.10. That's the top. And because TC here is higher than 1110.10, you actually do not need a high point. You could choose to create a small berm on this side, but because this is still higher than the water level by 0.3, it is okay that you do not create that berm. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So,
that visual helps a lot.
yeah.
So for the TC 1110.4, where does that go?
The TC equals to 1110.4 is actually at this location. Let me erase that one. You could imagine the lowest point is here, right? So there is the lowest point. So that TC equals to 1110.4 is right at that location.
Okay.
And all the edge of the curve, the top of the curve will be higher than that. So you don't necessarily have a problem of things spilling out. That makes
So-
sense? Yeah.
Yeah. So do I keep the 2 curb cuts but have this one bioretention area, or do I just have that one curb cut now?
You have 2 curb cuts, one
Okay.
bioretention area.
Got
They
it.
lead to the same, yeah, they lead to the same depression.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's look at the ramp. We talked about contour revision this morning. I think we'll have to go back to the recording of this morning to know exactly where each contour goes. After that, remove the wall and tilt your contour a little bit so that it has a side slope. And honestly, that's all you need to do. So follow what we talked about in the morning about the contours and tilt the contour and add a wall over here. And I think you should be okay. The lower plaza needs to be bigger though. The plaza space now is about that. It could be bigger. If you only have a walkway, it's not a lower plaza, right? This was a plaza line maybe? Is that a contour line or plaza line?
That's a plaza.
Oh, I mean, this line?
Mhm.
Okay, so if that's the case, that's okay. And we basically starting the plaza like this. Okay, then you can get rid of these lines. I'm not sure what those lines are though. Are they contours?
Yeah, those are contours, because don't they have to run into the building, or can I run it into the plaza?
You wouldn't run it into the wall here.
Oh, okay.
So we're aiming for, if the entry, let's see, that is 1110. Yeah, we talked about, yes, this is okay for BFFE to be 1100.50. And then your next contour over here would be 1100, right? Check this distance. If the 110 is right here, you only need a 1101. That's correct. Let's try. So if I do, well, change back to this color. If I do this, if I can somehow let this contour do that and then attach to this wall, you wouldn't need this portion. So if this is 11101, then that's all you need. Your 1100 would just be here.
Okay.
So your 1101, if you can make 1101 do that, well, of course, it needs to be angled a little bit more. Your 110 goes like this, then you have a working solution. Okay, so let's aim for that to happen once you had a chance to revise the contours in this area. And yeah, that's
Okay.
basically it. Okay.
Okay. And one more question. So the length of my ramp, that's okay?
You have to do the measurement though. You have
Okay.
to do the measurement and see if it's use the TR here
Mhm.
and the BR here, and then subtract to find out the elevation difference, and then divide by 5%. That's how you find out if the length, and then measure the length along the center line. That will
Okay.
give you, yeah, that will tell you whether or not it's long enough.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Parker.
Hello.
Hey. All right. We're working on a lot of spot elevations at this point. And this is one to really small on the page. If we zoom to 0, okay. So this is how it will print. I honestly think the size of the text is pretty good, but I think some of the line weights are off. So be sure to talk to the TAs about the line weights, especially of the existing contours and pavement lines, because the size of the text here is actually a pretty good size.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
I noticed that whenever I exported it, but I'll fix that.
Yeah. So that's about presentation here. So your ramp is where is the ramp? Is this the ramp?
Correct.
So wow, that's a lot of spot elevations that you need to design for that ramp. And a lot of walls too. So Parker, in order to represent this correctly, you would need bottom of wall and top of a wall for all the walls, and bottom wall and bottom of ramp, top of ramp for all the ramps. And so talking about the contours on the ramp, we would have to see have a retaining wall around it. I don't think you need a swell here. You start from this place and you estimated the elevation here to be 1104.61. That's where we start to check your spots and your slopes. So this is 05. This is 05, and that is 04.61, which is reasonable. And then you start going down, that's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 9, 8, 7. 7 goes down here and then connects back to the 7 over here. Okay, so the plaza, I think you can extend your plaza to this place because you run down the ramp and you're expecting the space to open up, right? So you could extend the plaza to this area. Yeah, I think that's probably okay there. Now 07 is here, 06.5 is over here. Here you go back to, that's okay, going back to the contour there, coming down. You will need another 9.6 though. If it's 2% slope, your 9.6 would probably be here. And then you have another 9.6 going like this. I think 96 is not, it's probably not connected correctly yet. Let me clear and zoom back out just to take a look at where 96 is. So your 96 is over here. Okay. If your 96 is over here, it's not steep enough because this is over 50 feet, I suppose. So let me zoom out again. Maybe one more. Uh, 96 is likely going to be somewhere here. And then it could turn like this. 97 goes like that. Hitting the wall, it's okay. That hits the wall, it's okay. So there's a wall over here. And you could have pavement line once you get it up. That's too thick. Come on, yeah. You could have pavement line around here and close it up there. Okay, so 97 and 96 can do this. Going down, okay. Now this wall, we need to connect back to 95. That was pretty long too. Huh, okay. I think we have a better solution.
So just start pushing up a lot of the contours.
Yeah, I think we don't need that many walls to attach these contours. And the same
Okay.
thing with here. We're also creating a swell here, which is not that necessary. Let me zoom out again. Okay, now big picture stuff. Okay. 05 is going here. Our swell. Yeah, our swell, it's so close to the building, and I don't think that's good for, you know, because there's a drainage category in the rubric, and that category, you'll probably lose most of the points in that category because of this. So I really suggest that you push the building backward. Push the building backward. So
Okay.
that you would have a swell going, let's see, black. No, building be here. Whole thing moves back for that much. Okay, that's how your building would look like later. Then,
Okay. I can't. Oh, now I'm starting to see the lines. Yeah, I couldn't see it for a second.
yeah, contour look like that. And then your swell goes like this to this area where you have a retention. Right? And then this area where you have a retention. That's okay. Yeah. And then other contours, let's take a look. This is 5. 5 goes back like this, and we need a 6. No, 4. 4 could be doing that. And 3 can do that. 2 keep doing this. And I bet it could do that. So you should be able to get back to original contour. Oh, original contour here is about 96 at the back. And that is around in this area. That's probably where 96 would be. Okay, if that's the case, so that is where, see, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we need 99, 8, 7. Yeah, 6 can go back here. All right, so 6 can go back, and meaning that your wall can stop right there, right between 96 and 97. Okay, let's look at this portion. 5, 5. Yeah, we need to push these back so that we have some room for, because your water is draining. Well, honestly, if you turn your contour, you don't need to create bioretention in this area. But if you keep your contour like this, you would need to have blue in this area. And that's why you would need to push these to this vegetation and make some room. Your choice of how you select to approach this, okay? If you choose to turn these to that direction, you do have quite a bit of room in the green area there, especially this area, if you make it green. I don't think you need a plaza space here, so you can definitely make these places green if you choose to. So I think neither, well, I think they're probably equal in terms of how much work it involves. So first option, turn these contours so you use the green in between to treat water. Second choice would be not turning them out, but push these contours to the vegetation and then make some room here for the treatment of the water. Okay, so that's that. And we have 5 coming out somewhere here. Once you are able to tighten these contours.
Wuhong,
Yeah.
my screen for the past like 30 seconds is frozen and I can't see any of it. Can I'm just gonna, oh, okay. It just showed back up. So I haven't been able to see anything of what you've just been saying. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. I can repeat. So what you see here, now you can see everything, right?
Correct. Yeah, now it's okay.
Yes. Yeah. So if you want to turn the contours so that water actually all goes into the medium, you need to change some of the paved area to green, and that way you do not need to create retention now as shown in this area, right? If you choose that contours, then you need to create room for the retention outside of the edge of this turnaround, okay, or the driveway. So
Okay.
it's doable because you have a lot of room here. You can see how you can tighten these contours here to make room, right? So you would have, well, if you choose to create retention area, push this back, then you would need to create that divergence swell. And the divergence swell is likely going to run this way. Okay, and then you have another swell going this way, and a retention area here, which you need to make room, and then you have a lot of room. Once you move the contour, like tighten the contour like this, you can see how you can gain a lot of room in this area, right? So those contours can be connected back way here, right? So you would have a lot of room in this area to treat the water in this location. You should be able to do that. In terms of contours, your 5 is over here, then your 4 is likely just to go up. It's basically going to go around. Should be okay if you start here, go around the retention, and then help form one of the swell over here. And then that, you know, would be sort of, well, if you, let's see, I can move this over down a little bit out of that retention. So the 4 can go like this. Does that make sense? 4 can go like
Yes.
this. Yes, 4 can go like this. If you actually want to create the retention downstream, you can also move this down, and then that can be up. Either way would be fine. So this is where you want to create something right here. You might want to move it down somewhere here, which is totally fine. You just need to wrap this around it.
Okay.
Yeah, you just need to wrap this contour around it. You could also make it pretty low and put O4 up, but your retention is going to be in this area because now there will be some water coming from this area as well that you should treat differently, separately. So you have room. If you can treat them differently, that would be good. So basically, 1 or 2 that look like they belong to the same unit, but they treat different kinds of water. This is dirtier and that's cleaner, right? And your swell on this side, will be clean water coming off the hillside.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's that area. In terms of contours, I doubt that you need to create the swell over here. I think you may be able to basically do some things like this, and then the wall would be shorter, but well, you still have your plaza here, so the wall might still look this long. But without the swell. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can basically do something more similar to what I'm drawing. Getting rid of that swell there. Okay, so we return back to 96. Yeah, return back to 96, and I'll have to look at what 97 does. Honestly, 97 would probably just be confined within the area of that ramp. So you would still have a short wall for the last stretch of your ramp. So 97, because this area is entirely 96, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would have a short wall, the same thing as you designed for the others kind of portion of the ramp. 97 will only be on that ramp.
Okay.
Kind of makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So that's the ramp. How can I uncover area? And is it okay how close I can? Because of storage. Yeah, I think we talked about that too. And let me save and then clear. Moving down. I think those are all good. Well, yeah, that keep moving down.
Hey, Wuhong.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be in Stuart's room? Sorry, I was just like confused on which room I should be in.
Give me a second. Tegan, you should be in this room.
Okay.
I think that's what the group says. Yes, you're in this room. Okay.
Yeah, I think I understand like what I did wrong, honestly, just from like looking at other people's, because I was like confused on how many contours that I needed to include like in the swale on the left side of my.
Tegan, just a second. I have one last thing that I need to mention for Parkers.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, so yeah, Parker, this portion, the last portion here. I'm not sure actually, but you didn't make that. But
I'm sorry, your voice is cutting out. I can't understand anything you're saying.
That's weird, and people here can see that my face is screen. Again, apologize. This computer is really not good. Is it better now?
It's better right now, yes.
Okay. Yeah. This portion, take a look at the contours over here, because the 14 basically hits the edge of the road while you don't have a curb represented here. So it's a little strange how the connection was made. And that's the last thing that I want to mention about your drawing.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'll move forward to Tegan then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, actually, Julia is the next one. Is this right? I think so. Let me quickly check. Yeah, Julia, and then Tegan, I'm sorry, you're the last one. Olivia, it's switched to Stuart's group for some reason. Yeah. She states. Okay, Julia's drawing here. Do I need a swell on the plaza here? You would continue your swell line until you reach the edge of the plaza and indicate the spot elevation. So how you represent this would be, you would continue that line or stop here, restart. Okay. Again, these two lines will be swell lines. And then you would add a spot here, there. Those are, well, there no need to indicate LP or other letters. Basically, they're just spots. Yeah. Yes, it would just be a spot. Yeah. Some of your water is still going down in this area though. There's not, yeah. Okay, okay. Okay. Does this HPS work? Is 1105.40? Yes, it works. Yeah, they can touch. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. And how do I calculate these corner spots? Using the contours. You would just basically have all the contours run the exact same manner. You do need to specify one of the center line here. Again, I'm using arrows, but you would use ridge lines. And the contours would basically go like this, right? So you would measure the distance from here to there, and then use the 2% slope. Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah, and those distances were what you measure to calculate the spots there. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You could only have 2.5 going down here. Then there's only a portion, there's only this portion that is going to run at a 2.5. If your edge of pavement, I would not design my edge of pavement like that, because there, again, you have an accurate angle here, which is very hard to build, and it's not as net. Well, you can basically turn like this. And still you have this portion that is at 2.5%. So you could adjust to accommodate lower than 0.5 foot, half a foot. That makes sense. So what you could do, in order to make this a little easier to understand, you could calculate the BC and BC here based on the 2.5%. But for the TC, you would use the 2% to calculate the TC. So then you would have a different curb height because of that. That makes sense. So along this portion, this is also 2.5, right? It's only this point. At this point, it's so that's the dividing line. So this distance here is different from that one. Is that right? I think it's probably the whole thing here is 2.5 and the whole thing there is 2. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Not really. If that's the case, you don't actually have a conflict. It's the whole thing over here is 2.5. The whole thing over there is 2. Not necessarily. I don't think that's part of the requirement. Is that? Let's see. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's not minimal. Okay. Entry, grass, landscape. Didn't line up. It did not light up. Minimal 2. Yeah, I think you're fine. Unless where your bottom and you have 2 different slopes connected by the curb. Otherwise, if everything connected by the curb is the same, then yeah, you don't have that issue. Yes. Yeah. I was getting a little nervous too, because yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm having trouble here. I don't know where the 1095 goes. My B wall is at that complex order. Okay. So 96.5, 96. And that's your 95 somewhere over here. We have to find out where your 95 contour is. Oh, okay, so that's your 95 contour. Okay, that's good. I think, yeah, this area is getting a little closer, but that's, yeah, that's easy to change. Let's see. I want to make it thicker. Reason being, oh, okay. So that, these are, I think those are wrong. Not the contour is wrong. But the edge of the plaza should be here, right? That's your edge of the plaza. Yeah, otherwise you're, oh, you want to turn it into? Okay, okay. Okay, if that's the case, that's okay too, but we are going up at that point. Does that make sense? Yeah, so your contour is actually, well, honestly, maybe this is a better solution for it to go up again. Would do that. Then I would connect that back there. So everything, yeah, everything is draining that way. But you do, okay, everything, let's see. That's the contour of 105, 195. So that will be at 1095. Then 1096 would be somewhere here. And the bottom of a wall would be 96 instead of 5. So the wall needs to be inside and extend to somewhere here. Yeah, I think this is a little better than before. Yes. Yeah, 96. This is 95, right? Yeah, we'll need to measure. Yeah, we'll need to measure the 2% slope. Oh, okay. In that case, let's measure. Okay, let me clear, and then I want to try to give a good measure of. So if I move this, yeah, your 96 is actually closer. Let's see. That's correct. So your 96 would in fact be somewhere over here. And then you have a 95 somewhere. Depending on, because it's retaining wall, so it doesn't have that relationship anymore. You could have it at a half foot below, but then you would have a ramp. No, you don't have to represent it. You just need to know that ADA people will need a small ramp to get out of the building. It's not a detail that you need to include, but you can also say it's 1096.4, meaning that it's ADA accessible without a ramp, right? So all these spots, that don't have to be 0.5 below the FFE, just because everything is retaining wall. Yes, it could be even higher because it's a retaining wall, right? Doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. So that's your choice. If you want to say outside of the door here, if you want to say this is 1096.5, your 96 would be moved down. So that's your 96. And then you can move the 95 down. That's what you can do. Again, I'm not at a right location anymore, so I'm just gonna move up. Then move these back. So that's 90, if that's 96, then that is 95. The door. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. The inner corner, this one would be higher. Those would be higher because they need to drain out. Yeah. Yes. You don't need to be that high. You can just calculate a 2% slope and then say yes. Yeah. So if you want 96 to be here, then 95 can be somewhere here. Yeah, that's about it. So let's take a look at where we are here. So 94, 95, okay. That is this 4, 3. Well, I think the distance are somehow, okay, they're max 6.4. Okay, that's why. So 4, 3, 2, 1. No, 1 is, why am I, 1 it's over here. 0, 9, 8, 7. That's your 6. Okay, 5. Well, maybe 5 doesn't have anything to do with the ramp anymore. 5 would just go like this. And we will modify the 6 over here for it to go to the wall. Then that's so the bottom of the ramp there would be flatter. Yeah. Yeah, 95 would connect back to your 95. Your 95 is already here. Your wall can stay there. It's just your, 96 will be there. You would change your 95 contour instead. Your wall can stay where it is. The bottom of the wall would be 95.2 something. Yes. Yeah. It will be determined by your pavement here. Yeah, so whatever slope, they're the same. There's only one B wall here because it's not a corner wall. Yeah. So your 96 will be here, right? Instead of, yeah, so that one, this is determined by the slope along here. Yeah. Yes, you don't have a drop. No, it's connected. It's paved and vegetated, but the elevation is the same. It's no, if you have a straight wall, the difference is that you have a different B wall here than there. But at the end of the wall, they're the same elevation. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 2. Yes. 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 Yeah. 1. Yes, that's right. Mhm. Okay, so that's the ramp. I know we have something on the left, so I'll go to the left. Should I pull the contours on my divergence well up more? That is determined by, I think I'll need more elevations for your bioretention, but they look like they should work, but mhm. Mhm. You should still be able to post something, but it's not a lot of space that you can save. Right. Yeah. I don't think you would have, no, the water will definitely go in here. Some will, the key is for this water does that don't go into there. I don't think it will, right? Once I travel to here, I am lower than 1104. So I definitely will go in that direction instead of go to 104. Yeah. They are working properly. The key thing is for this contour, the tip point to go beyond the extent of the contour here, if they are at the same elevation. Because once I get down here, I am lower than that one. So I'll keep moving. Yeah. Works. Yeah. Okay. Here. Well, you would have a 1104 there. So it's okay because they are they're at two sides of the curve, right? You're not below 1104 in terms of curve yet. The curb height has been, yeah, the curb is above 1104. Will always be above 1104 up until you get to this point, to the lowest point. So you're just dealing with a situation where you have the curb in the middle, and then at this point is 104.5. That water is about this high. I mean, it will extend your curve down on the side definitely, and everything here is lower than you basically have a vertical wall, and then they kind of dip down on both sides, so that's okay. Yeah. That's probably all of them. This one work. They start to form. This is a little, I would actually do something like this. Until this point, because everything still kind of concentrates in that place, and it makes more sense for this to start there. Drag it up, and then this one would go up a little bit. No, that's not how. Because it remains easy for you to form a swale with this contour, right? And then that can go up above a little. Yeah. For this, for the ridge line, it's okay. But for this situation, I would probably move it away from that 1109 contour. I think that's more clear. Yes. Yeah. Well, depending on your calculation. Yeah, above the 1109. Yes. Okay, that's that. Yeah. Oh, no worries. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. That's 1 feet off. This is 1 feet off. Yes. Yeah. I did not catch that. Yeah, did not catch that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Then that actually means that you can spread these contours out a bit more, which is a good thing. Make sense? So now some portion would be 8 and 6.74. You have the same length, but you have 1 foot less of elevation difference. So it means you can lower the slope of the ramp, spread the contours out a bit on. Yes. The bottom will be 1095.50. Yeah. You can move everything 1 foot below, change the number. Yeah. It's not a huge change. You'll find out it's not a big. I know you have calculated all these out. No, it doesn't. It affects your bottom ramp. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you do need to do some of the calculations. Well, I can see how that could be a pain. Recalculating your ramp. Yes, yeah. Recalculating your ramp would be, yeah. Yeah. I noticed something. Yeah, spread out, reduce one contour there. You would have your curb cut at these locations, not there, because that's only receiving a tiny little bit of water. Yeah, so that's that. Oh. And for this one, your DC, you actually need to find the tangent point. So by moving this to the furthest away, so that's where the location of the DC is. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's that. All right. We're good? Mhm. Yes, yes. You would want to prevent water from getting into this area because there's a long path, a long flow path over here. And let's put something here. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Moving forward. Yeah. Okay. So making sure Shenzhen, yeah, Shenzhen is over here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Our contours here, right, for the runoff. Ah, they are actually draining into your parking lot. So let's make some changes there. Does this fire retention work? We can take a look. I feel confused about the ramps in this site, the drainage. Yeah, that's a bit of, so 0, 9. Yeah, or you might want to put a DI on the lawn. It's a little hard to drag it up. Recently we had, let me think. Whoop. $109, 0, okay. So I am a little confused about the 1110. Actually, you can have your 110 go here. And it goes along the curb. Let me try something. Okay. And originally goes over here. And then around there. This is where it connects. This feels like where it connects before. So what we retain is this portion. This portion that way, then goes out. So if we do this, then we don't have that issue anymore, right? Starting the smell like that. Erase that one, that one, that one. And this, that. This will go like that. If we want to, we can put our high point somewhere here. Yeah, that's our high point. And well, we'll still have some water going down to, yeah, I guess we don't have a really good solution for that. We could try, okay, let's try a little bit more, kind of dragging it like this. So then that runs this. We will still have some water running. Well, this one goes that way, so that's okay. Most of them goes that way. Let's see. If we drag it up like this, then it will be better. Okay, let me erase that one. Key thing is for us to start turning water in this way. So you can see, Shenzhen, the water here, because the contour it's turned, you can have more water going this way. and going that way, going this way. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
do this. Let's I wanted that. Let's turn the contours this way and turn this contour that way. And let's still put our high point of swell over here. I'm gonna erase the purple line here that I can clearly see. And that's your 12 and that's your 11 and 10. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So that's that area. Let's take a look at the retention. If possible, I know there's a lack of space. If possible, we'll close it like this and then probably drag it over a little bit like that. You may have some more room here for that. If we can't do this, it's okay too. If we basically have one here and one there, and then we need actually something there and something there. If we are running out of space, I think it's okay not to have this one because that's too limited of an area.
Okay.
Yeah, the water is not a lot either, right? Because you can see most of the water has already gotten treated by this one. So you're only having a pretty small drainage area. If you have a curb cut over here, that's how much you're treating, and it's pretty small. Make
Yeah.
sense? Yes. So,
Yeah.
so we can either move it down here. The curb cut moving down here would make it bigger, but I think it's okay if we start here. If we start here, basically we're treating this much area, and I think that's a sizable area to be creating your first somewhere here. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at the retention over here. We need something over here, as I mentioned, because that's dirty water coming out. This is relatively clean, and we need something over here, and we don't have that yet. Okay,
Can
so,
this two bioretention combine to a big one? Yeah, I originally planned to make two, but I'm
you
thinking
can.
about like,
You are actually able to create them separately. It might be even easier for you to create them separately.
okay.
Okay. Well, if I were to, oh, you have a walkway over here. I don't think it's a good idea to have the sidewalk extended there. I think we can end somewhere there. Even if we need some more space, it will probably be able to end there because, you know, you need a lot of curb cuts over here and there. And with the pavement over here, which some may use them, not a lot. I don't think this will experience a lot of use. If you really want to have them, you would need a trench drain goes across this to direct the water out here. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So there are some required connections. No, that's a required connection because that's a dead end. This is the lowest point, so that's a required connection. And the water coming down here, you know, if you have to make it into one, that's okay. Honestly, we don't have a lot of water. You can even have that one over here. That's okay too. So it would not be the greatest solution to combine them, but if you have to, no, it's okay. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what we can do, let's see. Or what we can do is we have something here for the plaza. And then this is the lowest point here. Too thick. This is the lowest point. And that is the lowest point. And we have something that connect to them instead of this one. So this enters into here, but that one, that's two, but that one is connected by, I'm gonna get rid of that arrow and add another one that goes down here, and this goes down here. And that one goes into here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't need a swale over here. I can basically do this. And like that. Okay. So that's that area. We can take a look at the ramp now. Ramp. Looks like we're adding a wall. Another wall.
Add a wall because I feel like inside it's very crowded and I can't connect the contours together through the ramp.
You are actually pretty high at top FFE.
Yeah.
So if I were to draw the center line over there, you are at about 108 for your FFE. I think that's correct. Yes, that's right. Yeah, so your top FFE would be close to 108. And then bottom would be 1097.5, 1097. The FFE would be around that, right? You still need to calculate it. But it's very close to 108. Oh, 107. Wrong. This is actually 8. So at the bottom, you need to get to 1097. Your 1097 is somewhere, no, if it's here, it's actually lower. 1097 is actually somewhere lower because you are at 1097.5. Yeah, this is 7.5 here. Okay, so with that in mind, we have 107, okay. And we need to find out a way to connect back here. Let's start with the 1098 contour. Your 98 contour goes here. Yeah, I can see how you feel that you don't have enough space, right? Is that 103.21098? So that feels, if that's the case, it might mean that you need to drag it out a bit more, extend it in this direction, and then find 5% slope. This is 6% slope. Actually, you need 5% slope.
Okay.
So 108, if you can have 108 hit the wall, you would be in a good shape of, no, if this is what you can achieve, then your ramp would be, well, that's actually what you are doing now. So let's try. That's 08, right? Oh, 98. 98, 99. And that's, well, you can try that and use 4 feet as the minimal distance and see what you get at this point. If you have 1105 not being able to connect to 1107, you could use walls, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so this is how basically these would run. And then, yeah, you do need to make sure that that one, spread it out a bit. And then same thing, doing this. Well, looks like you might have space. I think the reason why you did not have space is you dragged this around, and you don't necessarily have to drag them around. The wall location is actually here, right? It's not, there's no space between your building wall, and you don't need to replicate a wall there. The wall will be starting from the end of the building corner and go kind of continue, all right? So I think you should have enough space for your ramp here, but do calculate the ramp for it to be 5%. Otherwise, you would need a landing. If you need a landing, then you have to extend the length of your ramp anyway. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I also have a question, like, of the ramp, like it's one side is high and one side is low, and for the lower side, like when the contours hit the ramp, do I have to give the ramp the line weight of the wall or something?
You don't need a wall around the ramp, so it's only the pavement line. You
Oh,
mean this
okay.
line, right? You mean this line? You don't need that line.
Yeah.
According to what we revised just now, you have enough space to fit in all the contours. So you would not need the wall to be there. So your 6 will basically go up like that. Your 5 will go up like this. And your 4, well, your 4 is already there. So let me take it back. No, you only need to do this. Okay, that's all you need to do. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We did that. This is a little tight, but you can remeasure. If this is getting tight, you can move the above ones closer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't need a wall. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let me clear. And I think that's all the questions you had. Yeah, I would round this out. Because when the bus is turning, that corner is not usable for them.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, yeah, then it's easier actually, not necessary. You have more room here for the end of the bioretention. Same thing. I don't think we need this corner either. But oh, I think you're probably concerned that you don't have enough straight space
Yeah.
for people to get off. It feels like you're having people getting off here though.
But
Not necessary.
Nesta is original, it's the sidewalk, but the store told me that to change to the
Yeah, you do need
space.
Yeah, you do need green space. Well, check the turning radius for the road and use a straight offset. Okay, because now you know this curve is not an offset of that curve, and use that as a way to guide whether or not how big of an area you need to so use that radius to tell how much you would turn it into plaza. Okay. All right. And all right, that's what you had. And I think we checked the ramp and the divergence style today. You pulled it up. That's good. I'm thinking maybe this is still too deep. Yes, this is too deep. Remove one contour from this and check your curb cut height. All right, check your curb cut height to get, this looks like too many contours and pretty deep.
Yeah.
All right, I'll move forward to Tegan then.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your patience, Tegan.
problem.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time understanding what the swell would look like here and how it would connect back without disturbing the vegetation. I know that, okay, contours and just, okay. The requirements for the slope of the swell center line, no, as long as you have one in one direction, it's at 2%, then the center line can go below 2%. So we can take a look at the ramp and then we can take a look at divergence swell. All right. So you only have this area that it's draining on the side. So these are draining toward and also will likely go to this divergence swell. Now, the 7 goes like this, and I would imagine that to go up this way. Yes, you're missing some contours, so let's fix this contours below first. And we have some contours at here that is it 12 or 13? That's 13. 11, 12, 13. Yes, that's 13. We don't necessarily have to cut it, but just in case. That's 13. And our 12 goes a long way back to somewhere. So this is the 12. And then 12 here, reconnect back to the 12 there. Okay, so that's done. Well, although I would say there's a lot of change here, which is allowed. But maybe we can try to reduce a little bit. 9 would not be connecting that. It's actually connecting back here. So those are not correct. So this is 13. That is 12. Now we're working on 11. 11 is over here. Need to go back to 11. So 11, move it over. 11 is somewhere over here. So we'll try to find a way. We'll need to take a look later after zooming out. 10 goes out like this. And 10 connect back over here. Like that. 9 goes this way. And then that 8 comes over here. 8 is connecting back at this place. Okay. So there is an issue. I think we're starting to get into the bioretention area now. If we say the first bioretention is over here, if we say the first bioretention is over here, we'll need to modify the red a little bit, no, the pink a little bit later after scoping out those. So that's 8, 7. Seven goes here. Now we know the blue needs to be changed because, okay, let's go back. We know that this needs to be dragged up. 7 needs to be dragged up to have a blue that is not draining. So by dragging the pink up beyond the same contour of the bioretention, you would be able to prevent the dirty water to flow into the swale, right? I was being sort of generous here, but but you can see how I can tighten it up. So now in that case, I would have something that may be able to actually, the swell center line. What I drew would mean that I'm doing this, but you can see how I can further pull it to the side of the vegetation, right? And this also tells me that that needs to change, and that needs to change, because if I have a retention in this area, I would want this to be dragged up, going bigger, dragged up, and form that swell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So like the top of like the contour needs to be ahead of wherever the bioretention starts.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how the divergent swell work. What else can I help you with?
Does the swale like on the plaza, is that okay, or does that need, like, it probably needs fixed because like
Yes.
I didn't realize I was missing the contours before because I would like felt like I had way less contours than everyone else, and I was like really confused why, but that made sense.
So your 106 goes here, and then the other 106 goes like that. If this is still paved, you would not curve them, and then that
Okay.
06 goes there. That's okay. And my 107 is now here, so it's likely I can do something like, I don't know. Well, you would have, oh, okay. It's hard for you to actually drain this area. No, the lowest point being here, meaning that I can have a retention in this area that has a connection from that, right? I need something here, definitely. You already designed one for that. So I need someone here. And depending on how this is designed, you can wrap this contour around. So I can modify the portion of this contour for it to go around and then come back to this one. So it's flexible how you design the 106 contour there. So that's that. And then you have your 105 going this way. That's okay. Well, I would say this portion is pretty steep, so you would want to find out your 105. I think your 105 is actually going to start one contour later. Unless you modify this to be like this, then this portion would be flatter, but then your swell would also change direction, which I don't think is necessary. But basically, you would need to offset this one to find out 1105. It's likely going to be somewhere one more contour down. The best way to find out would be to calculate that based on the plaza, and calculate a 5% slope on the ramp. Well, now that I see, I think it's probably somewhere here. Well, again, I'm only guesstimating, so you can verify in CAD by measuring better, and then 1105 being here, we can continue looking at this. 106.5, it's likely going to be higher than that unless you enter, well, if you enter from here, it's probably 106.5, half point, right? That's the halfway contour there. So that's okay. And the bottom FFE is actually 1096.50, which means your 1096 contour is the last contour that is going to, this is probably your 1096. So that would connect a little bit earlier to your 1096 over here. If that's the 1096, no need to have a swell over here. So whether or not you have enough ramp length, it's a little questionable. But if this is 5% slope, then you do, because your 906, 907 can go like that, 8 can go like this, but you need to turn it, okay? Turn it away from the wall. You have a wall here. Check to make sure that you actually have enough length, but your 107 would have to hit a wall. 906 is 096 is the one that goes back to normal, not normal, original, or goes back to the 996 on the plaza. Does that make sense?
Yeah, do you think it would be best to make my ramp like a different shape? Like if I kind of did more of a V, like most other people are doing?
Yeah, you try the length first. If it's not long enough, you definitely have to change the shape of it. But this roughly shows how you would connect the contours there, and it shouldn't be a huge issue. Make sure you always get okay, otherwise it's draining water to your wall, and that's the thing that pretty
Wuhan, your mic keeps cutting out.
okay. So make sure that all your contour hit the wall in this direction. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that. So both ramp and divergence swell we talked about. The 110, these contour, you might have to zoom out and see by yourself how you connect it back. If I save it, then clear it. Clear, and then going back. Yeah, I honestly, okay, so 1110, it's over here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should still, yeah. It's not a huge issue. It would just mean that this is likely pretty steep from 105 to 110, 1110. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's how the transition from the 15 to 10 would look like. Then you just need to try to find a way to connect these back. Should not be a huge difficulty there. Anything else?
No, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I noticed your
Oh, I can't hear you right now. It's like muffled.
your curb cut needs to be at the lowest point here.
Oh, okay.
Lowest point there. Let's see. There needs to be a connection because that is a dead end. And this is a one loaded parking lot, or is it, oh, no. Where the cars are parked, you don't round them because the car is over here, right? You don't round the corner for the car there because the car is not driving around that corner. So these don't need to be rounded.
Okay.
Yeah. Other things, yeah, parking stalls needs to appear. ADA needs to be indicated. All right, I don't see other glaring things. You may want to open up the cut to the edge. So this one only receives only a little water. Those are okay. And curb cuts somewhere here. lowest point. Oh, okay. I think we mentioned this is a hard part. Where do you pipe water into? It's a little long. It's a little too long for it to go here. The edge of the pavement is over. Oh, okay. So if you have your edge of pavement over here, then you can go there. Can go inside here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you. Wow, we're right on time. Okay, clear. This time I will make sure that I record correctly. Last time it started converting, but my computer died and then conversion of the video failed.